AITA for refusing to change my daughter's bedroom for my pregnant SIL. My SIL, 28, is visiting for Christmas and was sleeping in my daughter's 16th bedroom. From the first day she's been here, all she's done is complain about how my daughter's bedroom is decorated. Her walls are black and she has a bunch of rock posters on her walls. My SIL is very Christian and she says that it's evil and that she can have no part in it. She kept asking me to make my daughter change it / take the posters down. I spoke to my daughter about it and she said that if her aunt doesn't like it then she doesn't have to sleep in there. I honestly agreed and didn't feel like fighting with a teenage girl over a poster. Anyways, right before bed last night I could hear my daughter kind of yelling and crying. When I went to see what had happened, I saw that her aunt had taken all her stuff off of the walls and had accidentally ripped one of them, which was signed by the artist. My daughter was freaking out and my SIL explained that the evil posters gave her anxiety and that when she got anxious the baby wouldn't stop kicking and she couldn't sleep. I told my daughter to tape the ripped poster back together and that she could put all of it back up in the morning. I told my SIL that if she didn't like it she could sleep on the couch or find a hotel. My wife doesn't like the way my daughter's room is decorated either, and of course she sided with her sister. She told my daughter that if she put them back up then she would rip them all up. She told me that she couldn't believe that I would suggest that her sister should leave. NTA. Only here are your wife and her sister. Way to alienate her daughter and clearly show that the sister / aunt has priority over the teen that lives in the house. If she wants the rip fixed, don't tell her to tape it. There are people who can restore the poster to how it originally was, since it was signed. Your SIL and wife are usses. I know it probably won't happen, but I'd make SIL pay for the damage. That poster had sentimental value to your daughter, and I would also get poster frames so it can't happen again. NTA, stand up for your daughter like you have been. Don't let the SIL act like a spoiled princess. NTA, but Christmas is still 20+ days away, and it is completely unreasonable to make a teenager give up her room for that length of time for someone who destroys their belongings and disrespects them. Maybe point out to your wife that choosing her sister over her daughter will affect the kind of relationship they have for the next few years at least, and teenagers can be petty when they feel the need. Possibly mention that her sister isn't the one who is going to pick her nursing home. NTA, she is a guest in your house, your rules. How dare she infringe on your hospitality by telling your daughter how to decorate her bedroom? If she doesn't like it then she can book a hotel room or Airbnb. Your wife is also an A for enabling her sister and using the situation to undermine your daughter's right to her identity and interests. NTA, why the fuck is your SIL staying for an entire month? If I was your daughter I would be pissed about having to share my living space with a grown child for an entire month. What a breach of her privacy and sense of home. Is your wife not your daughter's mum? I can't imagine telling my daughter or niece that I would rip their shit up because I don't like the feng shui. She still is a guest in your home. It isn't her place to decide what goes or stays on the walls. I say this as I know I would put my SIL in her place or out my front door if she did this to my kid. AITA for demanding that my husband talk to a therapist and or take parenting classes after he typed the word boundaries like boundaries. In case anyone isn't fluent in internet slang, the weird random capitalization means to read it in a whiny voice. My husband and I have been having some problems in regards to how he parents our 8-year-old son. My husband likes to play rough, tickling, wrestling, poking at someone after being told to stop. And my son is a quiet introverted kid who hates that type of play. My husband also likes to do little pranks, mostly popping out and scaring people, but our son has asked him to stop. He also doesn't respect our son's limits in terms of social interaction. When we visit my in-laws the house is very loud, the other kids play too hard, and our son does not enjoy it. He has asked to bring his Switch and play upstairs. My husband said his mom would freak over how rude that was, so I tried to compromise on a book. My husband said no and that it is his job to put him in uncomfortable decisions so he can grow. I think it hurts his feelings that our son doesn't like his grandparents, but I find them very difficult to like, so I can't blame him. My in-laws have complained, not in front of him, that our son is too weak and wimpy and we are ruining him. I texted my husband the other day that I want to talk about our differences in parenting, because I am not okay with him continuing to disregard boundaries. He replied that he has been depressed lately because of how joyless me and our son are, and he wrote back, but fine, we can talk about boundaries. I said that he sounds just like his shitty parents and I am not okay with that. I said he needs to talk to a therapist because I can't make him see how important boundaries are, or maybe take parenting classes. Now he is really mad at me and feels like I am saying he is totally horrible and the worst father. A lot of people seem to think that this is toxic masculinity, but I'm not sure because my husband and his 3 sisters were raised like this, and my Mill is the most vocal about disliking serious and sensitive people, so I do think he would be the same if we had a daughter. Now he is really mad at me and feels like I am saying he is totally horrible and the worst father. You make our kid miserable and you don't care. Do you think you deserve a medal for that? Don't hold your breath for him to change. Protect your kid and do anything you're able to do to make him feel safe and loved. If there are people making your son's life worse, even if one of them is his father, consider what you can do to limit that. Stand up for your child. Nadar. NTA. It sounds like the straw that broke the camel's back and he does need to learn boundaries if his 8-year-old son has repeatedly asked him to stop pranking him and your husband 1, refuses to stop harassing his child and 2, is now whining about how he's depressed because he isn't allowed to harass his child. His joy in life should not come from tormenting his son. NTA. Your husband is bullying your kids, refusing to admit that, putting the blame on you and your son, and ridiculing you too for it. So yes, he is horrible and a bad father. NTA. He is being a horrible father, if the only way he can find joy in parenting is by making his child uncomfortable for his own amusement, or even out of some misguided sense that demanding the kid tough it out in purely optional, supposedly fun social situations where no one's prepared to make even the slightest accommodation for him builds character. Stand your ground, this can't continue. And if he keeps digging in his heels, go to counseling yourself to figure out what your next steps are. Because if things don't change, not only will your son have nothing to do with dad as soon as he's old enough, he may well blame you for not doing enough to protect him. AITA for telling my sister she shouldn't be surprised that her baby daddy sucks. I was told about this subreddit and created an account just to post this. Please use your judgment and tell me if I should apologize or not / if I am an asshole. My sister had a baby about 6 months ago. Since then the baby daddy has not really stepped up at all. They apparently are still together, but went from seeing her 5 to 6 days a week to maybe once a week. He doesn't buy anything for the baby. He does nothing. She constantly complains and is turning super bitter to the situation. She calls me every day and does nothing but talk about her crap baby daddy. I asked her multiple times to give me updates on other parts of her life, but she will say one thing and then somehow tie it back to her baby daddy. Yesterday, she goes on a tangent about how she never would have had a baby if she knew she was going to be alone. I got irritated and asked how she didn't see this coming. She then says, what the hell is that supposed to mean? I say he has 3 other baby mothers, works a slightly above minimum wage job, doesn't have reliable transportation. His other baby mothers have said that he doesn't do crap for their babies and there is no way 3 women are all lying. She says he told me otherwise. I had no reason to believe. He said this was for the long run. I say, well, it looks like he is taking a long run away from his responsibilities. I love you but you're bitter. He is responsible for his kid but it's no surprise what's going on. The sooner you realize you're a single mom, and take his ass to court for child support, the better off you'll be. She then cursed me out and hung up on me. She is no longer speaking to me, and no longer having me babysit her baby. My mom is mad at me for pissing my sister off and now having to babysit more. She agrees that I spoke facts though. NTA. It was tough love. She was venting to you every day and it wasn't about some unfixable thing, like having a chronic disease. It was about something she can help. I hate when people complain on and on about something they can help improve. Your sister needs to wake up. He has a pattern of doing this and she's diluted herself into thinking she would be special, that he would transform into an amazing partner and father for her alone. I know someone exactly like this, and unfortunately she can barely get any child support from him because he makes so little and has 4 other kids, all of whom he's ordered to pay child support to, and his wages can only be garnished so much. What did she want you to do? Just go on listening to her forever while letting her cling to this man and let her life stagnate? Oh, she definitely thought she was special. She's spent all this time justifying the way he treats his exes, and now it's happening to her. NTA. NTA. Honestly, it was harsh, but it was what she clearly needed to hear. She's stuck tied to that idiot for 18 years because she thought she would be different. That's those other 3 women we're all lying and she was somehow fucking special. She should have never let that man boy in her life, and maybe, just maybe, she'll accept what you're telling her much sooner than the years it takes sometimes. Good luck. Edit. Just a quick FYI, I was in this situation and guess who raised her big sister's 2 teenagers? Amy. After I had to take them after my mom died because my sister gave up on parenting after about a year and 3 months. I'm sorry that happened to you. Was there a way you prevented becoming bitter? I just want her to be happy. We can't change the situation about the baby, but I'm hoping she can get some empowerment from moving on. The sooner you realize you're a single mom, and take his ass to court for child support, the better off you'll be. Wish more siblings said such reasonable things to wake someone up from their delusions. NTA. Well done, she needed to hear it. She might hate you now, but if she does the right thing, by God's will everybody else have a better life, including the kid. Dude works minimum wage and has 4 supports to pay. She's gonna be getting like $20 per month.